Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
My name is Catherine, and today we have an advanced level lesson for you guys all about food. What kind of food are we talking about today, Marco?
Today we're talking about cheese. So there's so many different types of cheese, so many varieties. So we're going to take a look at these varieties. You may know them or not, but we're also going to take a look at the pronunciation because most of them are either Italian or French. So how do you pronounce these in maybe in American English?
Good question. Let's listen to our dialogue for the first time, and we'll be back in a moment to talk about the wonderful world of cheese.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lori, and I want to welcome you to this course. We will learn all about one of the oldest yet most delicious foods on this planet, cheese. Let's get started. Cheese is usually categorized into 4 types: soft, semi-soft, semi-hard, and hard. The designation refers to the amount of moisture in the cheese, which directly affects its texture. Making cheese is an ancient practice dating back thousands of years, and the home cheesemaker can usually find recipes for cheese that fall into any of the 4 categories. Soft cheese includes cottage cheese, cream cheese, ricotta, brie, blue, roquefort, mozzarella, Munster, and similar cheeses. These cheeses generally pair well with fruit or meats and can be used as breakfast cheeses in an omelette or as pasta fillings. They are usually mildly flavored and very high in moisture. American, Colby, Kojak, and similar cheeses are in the semi-soft category. These are slightly stronger in flavor and cover a wide range of uses. Kojak cheese, a blend of Colby and Monterey Jack, is one of the most popular. This allows the sharper flavor of the Colby to be combined with the milder Jack cheese and also melts better than plain Colby. Grilled cheese sandwiches often use American cheese, and Mexican cheeses such as asadero and queso fresco are becoming more popular. Hard cheeses include Parmesan, Romano, Asiago, Swiss, Gruyere, and others. Parmesan and Romano are most familiar as the grated powder used to top spaghetti, but they are also used as accompaniments for fruit, wine, nuts, and other appetizer items. Swiss is a popular sandwich cheese and melts well, unlike some other hard cheeses.
All right, we're back. So obviously this is a very interesting lesson because it also gives us an insight onto how cheeses are categorized. I personally did not know that you had all these categories of cheeses, starting out with the soft cheeses.
That's right. So basically they're broken into these soft, semi-soft, semi-hard, and hard categories. The soft cheeses are the ones that are actually, you could touch them and they're soft. They kind of move under your finger.
Right.
And the famous ones, I think, are cottage cheese, which is almost like yogurt.
Yeah, and cream cheese is all.
And cream cheese as well. But also ricotta and brie and roquefort and mozzarella.
So, for example, these cheeses, they're usually, they're obviously very soft cheeses. Do you say cheeses or cheese or cheese-eye?
Yeah, we just say cheese normally, or different kinds of cheese. So in that case, you make the plural kinds of cheese.
Okay.
Types of cheese.
So these kinds of cheese, they are recommended, or they say that they pair well with fruits or meats. So when we talk about pairing a cheese with fruits or pairing a cheese with wine, what are we saying there?
In that case, we're saying that it's best to eat with certain kinds of food. So you can say, I would recommend pairing this red wine with lamb. But in the case of cheese, you could say, I would recommend pairing this delicious brie cheese with fruit.
Okay, so you actually have brie with fruit. Usually.
That's right. It depends on the kind of cheese. A lot of times you see mozzarella on pizzas, and so it's not paired. It's actually a part of the dish.
It's an ingredient, right?
But if you're going to eat a piece of cheese alone, you can have it maybe with some fruit.
So I guess that's the main difference between pairing and having it as an ingredient. Is pairing, you're combining it, but it's not really part of the dish.
No, and as an ingredient, it has to be in the dish to make it work. And so you have a lot of these delicious soft cheeses that you eat at breakfast, or sometimes dessert, ricotta, cream cheese. These are all parts of desserts, like cheesecake, for example.
Oh yeah, what cheese? What do they use in cheesecake?
Usually cream cheese.
Oh really?
But then you get into these other cheeses, which are semi-soft or semi-hard. And semi here just means part. So it's partially hard, partially soft. And these cheeses are different because you might use them sliced on sandwiches, things like that. In this category, you have American and Colby, and Monterey Jack is also very, very popular.
So these actually do have a more American sound to it. Obviously, American cheese or Monterey Jack. That sounds a little bit different than all the Italian or French sounding cheeses that we had in the soft ones.
That's right. And you'd even have something like cheddar in this category. There's another
cheddar cheese.
Yeah, there's another good cheese.
As you said, these are very typically put in sandwiches.
Yeah, I mean, you can use them in different ways. Sometimes we grate cheese. That means we rub it against this machine, a grater, to make it come out in these little fine pieces. For example, on top of pasta or on top of nachos. So we have grated cheese, but you can also have sliced cheese, and that's the kind of that's the way that we cut cheese to put it on a sandwich.
So, for example, if you go to McDonald's and you get a burger, usually the cheese that's on your hamburger is cheddar cheese, right?
That's right. It's a slice of cheddar cheese.
Okay. Now, moving on to our next category. Well, actually, towards the end of the different types of cheese under the semi-soft category, they also talk about Mexican cheeses such as asadero and queso fresco.
I love queso fresco.
You've had this before?
Yes, many times.
What do you usually have it with, or how do you pair it?
Usually it's an ingredient on tacos because it's a little bit crumbly. That means that it's like balls as opposed to being one chunk, one big piece. And so we usually have it like that. Or I've also had it as just a piece of cheese paired with a fried plantain or sour cream. Yeah.
It's actually very good. The thing with queso fresco is all of the cheese, they also depend on how mature they are, how long they've taken to make them. And queso fresco means fresh in Spanish, and this is the main I think factor in this type of cheese is that it's very, very immature. It's a very fresh cheese. You can make it in like a day or two.
Exactly. It just takes one night to sit and to become cheese, basically.
Right.
But other cheeses, and we'll see some of these in the hard cheeses, take a very long time to become their final cheese state. And one of those cheeses is Parmesan. You know, in Italy, when you buy Parmesan, they have these big wheels of it. They're circles. And you have to pay according to how old it is.
Oh, really?
18 months, 36 months. And it gets more expensive the older it is.
So obviously the older it is, just like wine, it has a more intense flavor.
That's right. And there are special characteristics for certain ages. Sometimes people really like the young ones. It depends on your taste and what you're going to use it for. But Romano is another cheese in Italy that's used like Parmesan on top of pastas. So spaghetti, you would grate it and you put it on top of pasta.
Oh, okay. What about they also mentioned this other one, Asiago.
Asiago cheese. Swiss cheese is the one with the holes. Asiago is, I don't know if maybe it's Spanish. But then we have Gruyere, which is a French cheese, and it tends to be very, very, very strong flavored.
So I think Gruyere is the cheese that usually many people use for making fondue. So they basically have this big pot or this medium-sized pot, and all the cheese just melts, and you just dip pieces of bread or vegetables in there, and you eat this just melted cheese.
Fondue, very popular dish in Switzerland.
That's right. But yeah, these all these different types of cheese. As you said, there's so many different types, and according to the age. Now, you lived in Italy for a while, and obviously they are they're a nation that enjoy having wine and cheese very regularly, right?
That's right, and I have to say that people in Parma take their cheese very, very seriously.
How serious?
A lot of people buy these big pieces of Parmesan cheese and they keep them in the refrigerator. And you don't just put the Parmesan cheese on the spaghetti. You also break pieces of it and you eat it alone with some, a glass of wine. Or some people like to put a little drop of balsamic vinegar on top of the cheese to give it some flavor.
Oh, really?
So there are many different ways to eat it. I'm sure it's different all over the country, but mozzarella, Parmesan cheese, Romano. These are all cheeses that are very, very important in Italian culture.
It's very interesting because, well, obviously we have listeners from all over the world, but some countries have a good culture for wine, cheese, and cured meats. Like, for example, in South America, if you visit Argentina or Chile, they are a nation that actually have a lot of variety of cheese, wines, and cured meats. But if you take a trip to maybe Colombia, they're not really that type of culture that really consume cheese and wine in the same manner.
Interesting. I wonder if it has to do with the historical relationship between Europe and a place like Argentina. You know, in Argentina, there's lots of Italian former people who came over from Italy many, many years ago, right? So that might have something to do with it. Or also Spain has a very strong tradition of cured meats and cheeses. They have manchego cheese, things like this. So I wonder if there's a relationship there.
Yeah, I think it's definitely an influence in some way. But the thing with cheese, I think it's in many places it's very expensive.
It can be.
Comparatively to, if you can have a regular mozzarella cheese, but sometimes these other types, they can be very expensive.
Yeah, it's like good wine. If you really want to pay for good cheese, it's going to cost you a lot of money.
Now, what about this, the famous blue cheese? We didn't mention it, but this is a very famous French cheese that basically has mold on it.
Well, yeah, all cheese, you're growing cultures, you're growing these things that are alive, but blue cheese, you can actually see it, and it's moldy. It's white, and there's some blue or green mold.
Exactly.
And some people love it, and some people hate it. I think it's it depends on your tastes, but it does have a very strong flavor.
Well, do you personally like it or dislike it?
I do not like blue cheese, but I love other kinds of cheeses like camembert, which is a French cheese with a very strong flavor, very stinky cheese. So it's not necessarily that it's strong. It's just that I don't like the taste very much.
Okay. Actually, it's very popular to put on salads, right?
Yes.
Blue cheese, a sauce or a dressing.
Blue cheese dressing. Yeah, that's right.
It's made out of blue cheese. It's a very interesting topic, and I'm sure that locally, many people also make, or countries have their own types of cheese. I know, for example, in Ecuador, we do have also something very similar to queso fresco, that's commonly used for breakfast. And here's an interesting thing. They put it in their cup of coffee.
No way.
So
it's cheese.
It's cheese. So basically you have coffee with milk. Very popular in Latin America, and people will take a piece of cheese and put it in their coffee. So obviously with the heat, it won't melt completely, but it will become very bendy and very soft. And then they'll have it with the coffee and the bread. So it gives it a very interesting taste. It may sound a little bit peculiar, but it actually has a very, very interesting taste, very good taste. I've had many friends try it, and they're like, "Wow, you wouldn't really think that you would probably dip cheese in coffee, but
no, it's a very unusual combination." Now, what is this special cheese called?
It's called queso de mesa, which is basically normal, common, everyday table cheese. So it's not any particular. It's very similar to queso fresco, very immature cheese.
So I'm very curious to know if in your country you also have a strong cheese culture, and if in your country you guys do have a lot of cheese, what kind of cheese is it? I know that every country has its own variety of cheeses, and some places like China aren't really into cheese. So you can let us know if your country doesn't really have that many cheese options. So we're very curious to hear about you and your taste in cheese. Let us know. Our website is englishpod.com. We hope to see you there.
All right, guys. See you later.
Bye.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
A type of cheese. Camembert. Soft, not strong. Mild. Solid product made from milk. Cheese. The way something tastes. Flavor. The way something feels. Texture. A small quantity of water. Moisture. To destroy microorganisms via elevated temperatures. Pasteurize. Nationality. American. A type of cheese. Colby. A type of cheese. Kojak. A type of cheese. Quesco. A type of cheese. Parmesan. A type of cheese. Romano. A type of cheese. Asiago. A type of cheese. Swiss. A type of cheese. Gruyere.
Let's try that faster.
A type of cheese. Parmesan. The way something tastes. Flavor. Solid product made from milk. Cheese. A type of cheese. Camembert. Soft, not strong. Mild. The way something feels. Texture. A type of cheese. Romano. Nationality. American. A type of cheese. Gruyere. A type of cheese. Colby. A type of cheese. Asiago. A type of cheese. Kojak. To destroy microorganisms via elevated temperatures. Pasteurize. A small quantity of water. Moisture. A type of cheese. Swiss. A type of cheese. Quesco.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Cheese. I love to have some cheese with a fine wine. Cheese. Where do you buy your cheese? From the local market, of course. I only want the best. Cheese. I found out the hard way that mice don't actually like cheese when my pet mouse died. Mild. Wow, that is too hot for me. Could I please have something more mild than that? Mild. What is your palate most receptive to? I enjoy mild food. Mild. The wine did not overshadow my dinner in the sense that it was mild enough to pair well with the pasta. Flavor. The chef brings out the strong flavor of the steak by seasoning with salt and herbs. Flavor. The wine of my home country is a bold and peachy flavor. It goes well with rabbit. Flavor. The flavor of Brazil during one of its festivals is of celebration and exuberance. Texture. My friend was surprised that the texture of the dinner his wife had made was similar to that of a hard rock. Texture. The texture of the wine I had just bought was dry and heavy. Texture. At first taste, I thought the wine was soft and sensual. By paying close attention to the texture, however, I realized it was rough and coarse. Moisture. I lock my cigars in an airtight case to prevent moisture. Moisture. An important factor in the success of growing your vegetables is the moisture that they receive. Moisture. My friend has to renovate his whole bathroom. There was too much moisture that it caused mold to grow on the walls.
Hello, English learners. Welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we're looking at some more romance.
We're talking about dating.
Dating, exactly. And not only dating, but asking someone to become your boyfriend or girlfriend.
Yep, that's true. And so we're going to be focusing on language to express your romantic feelings, and also maybe some phrases you can use to ask someone out.
Very good. So I'm sure you guys are excited about this one. So let's listen to the dialogue for the first time.
Hey, you're early. Where's everyone?
Well, I told them not to come. I made a reservation just for the two of us. I thought we could have a quiet evening all to ourselves.
Oh, why?
Jennifer, there's something I want to ask you.
Sure. What is it?
Okay, here's the thing. I've always seen you as more than just a friend, and I can't take it anymore. I know you better than anyone. I know the pros and cons of your personality. I even know what side of the bed is yours. I think we would be great together, don't you?
Are you serious? We've been friends for years. We can't just change that overnight.
I know. I never had the guts to tell you. Until today. So what do you say? Are you willing to give me a shot?
All right, I wonder, is she going to say yes?
I don't know. She seems a little bit confused.
Well, I guess it's always strange when your best friend suddenly wants to be your boyfriend or girlfriend.
It does happen, though. It
Yep.
does happen. So why don't we take a look at some of the vocabulary that was used in this dialogue to express these feelings? And let's start with Fluency Builder.
Fluency builder.
Okay, so we're doing things a little differently today. We're looking at phrases and not just vocabulary words. So he used some wonderful phrases to ask her to be his boyfriend. And he started with this. Here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
All right. That's a very strange phrase. Here's the thing. Is
Yep.
it giving her something?
Not quite. He's not giving her an object, but he's giving her some information.
Okay. So it's a very common way to start an idea.
That's right.
You're about to tell the person the main problem or the main...
The main piece of information.
Right? So you would start with, here's the thing, and then start explaining.
Okay, why don't we do an example?
For example, you could say, all right, here's the thing. People don't like you.
All right, well, I hope they don't say that to me. But another example, Marco, here's the thing. We're behind in our podcasting. We have to work overtime.
Okay. So the main idea.
Yep.
Very good. Moving on to our next phrase.
He said, I can't take it.
I can't take it anymore.
I can't take it anymore.
So he can't take it anymore. Take what?
Well, why don't we find out by listening to some examples?
Example 1.
The man next door has been so loud. I can't take it anymore.
Example 2.
My boss always yells at me. I can't take it anymore.
Example 3.
I can't take it anymore. I'm going to quit.
All right, so basically is you can't stand it. You can't tolerate it anymore.
Exactly. This is a phrase we use when we are really frustrated.
But yeah, when we're frustrated or when we just can't handle it anymore. And well, after he finished his declaration of love, she responded by saying, "Are you serious?
Are you serious?
Are you serious?"
Are you serious?
Okay, so what does she mean?
She's just saying, really?
Exactly. It's another way of saying really.
Yep. So this is a phrase that's really, it's quite informal, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't use it in a business context.
No, and it's also something that's used mostly by younger people.
Right. If you say something that's amazing or that's incredible, hard to believe, you might get this response.
Are you serious?
Right. So he is very serious, but he confessed that he never had the guts to tell her.
Have the guts.
I never had the guts to tell you.
I never had the guts.
All right, so to have guts.
That's to be brave.
To be brave, courageous.
Yep.
So we have some examples of how we would use guts in different situations, so let's listen.
Example 1.
I don't have the guts to go skydiving.
Example 2.
I don't have the guts to give a speech.
Example 3.
I've never had the guts to say no to my boss.
All right, so to have the guts to do something. Hey, but Marco, this word guts, it's an interesting one.
Yes, it is, because guts can also mean your internal organs.
Like your stomach and your intestines and your lungs.
Exactly. Those are your guts.
Yep. So when you have guts, you're really brave.
Exactly. You're courageous. All right, very good. Why don't we listen to the dialogue for the second time? We're going to slow it down a little bit, and we'll come back and look at some phrases and putting it together.
Hey, you're early. Where's everyone?
Well, I told them not to come. I made a reservation just for the two of us. I thought we could have a quiet evening all to ourselves.
Oh, why?
Jennifer, there's something I want to ask you.
Sure. What is it?
Okay. Here's the thing. I've always seen you as more than just a friend, and I can't take it anymore. I know you better than anyone. I know the pros and cons of your personality. I even know what side of the bed is yours. I think we would be great together, don't you?
Are you serious? We've been friends for years. We can't just change that overnight.
I know. I never had the guts to tell you until today. So, what do you say? Are you willing to give me a shot?
All right, so that's a little bit clearer this time. But while I was listening, I noticed that there's some more great phrases that you can use together with different words. So let's look at those now and putting it together.
Putting it together.
All right, let's take a look at the first one. He said, I made a reservation just for the two of us.
The two of us.
Just the two of us.
So just the two of us. Quite simply, it means you and me, just us, right?
Right, just us. So why is this phrase important?
I think it's a great way to show the idea of only us, right?
Right.
And we can use it together with any number we want.
So what about the four of us?
Just the four of us.
Okay.
Just the eight of us.
Okay.
So it suggests the idea of only us. You know?
Okay. So he made the reservation just for the two of us because he thought they could have a quiet evening all to ourselves.
All to ourselves.
All to ourselves.
All to ourselves.
if you have something all to yourself, or we have something all to ourselves.
We have that thing all alone. We don't have to share it.
We don't share. Very
Yeah.
good. So I guess you can say, my parents are out of town, so I have the apartment, I have the house all to myself.
Or even, she wants to eat the cake all to herself.
Very good. So that's a very good phrase.
And you can use it with any pronoun. Well, so the guy is explaining that I've always seen you as more than just a friend.
I've always seen you as.
I've always seen you as.
So basically is the perception or the way you consider that person.
The way you think about that person.
So I can say, I've always seen you as a good friend.
I've always seen you as a leader. Okay, so our last phrase is also the last thing we heard in the dialogue. He said, are you willing to give me a shot?
Are you willing to give me a shot?
To give me a shot.
Give me a shot. All right, I think we have some more examples of how we could use give me a shot in different situations, so let's listen.
Example 1.
I know I can do this drawing better. Just give me a shot.
Example 2.
The HR manager wasn't going to hire me, but he decided to give me a shot.
Okay, so when you give someone a shot, you take a chance, right?
Give that person or give an opportunity.
All right, so we don't know if she will give him a shot or not, but why don't we listen to the dialogue once more to hear these phrases in action?
Hey, you're early. Where's everyone?
Well, I told them not to come. I made a reservation just for the two of us. I thought we could have a quiet evening all to ourselves.
Oh, why?
Jennifer, there's something I want to ask you.
Sure. What is it?
Okay, here's the thing. I've always seen you as more than just a friend, and I can't take it anymore. I know you better than anyone. I know the pros and cons of your personality. I even know what side of the bed is yours. I think we would be great together, don't you?
Are you serious? We've been friends for years. We can't just change that overnight.
I know. I never had the guts to tell you until today. So what do you say? Are you willing to give me a shot?
All right, so an interesting dialogue, and it opens up a cultural point.
That's right. So in the dialogue, the guy was asking her if she would be his girlfriend, right?
Right, but I guess it's not very common among adults, at least,
Yep.
in English-speaking countries.
Yeah, we don't say like, okay, so please will you be my boyfriend now, you know?
Right. You would do that maybe in high school.
Yeah, but even then, I think it's still a little funny. I think for us, when we start to have romantic relationships, it just sort of happens naturally, right?
Right.
You never really have this conversation, will you be my boyfriend?
Right, I guess afterwards you just start talking about other things,
Yeah.
which you just consider that you guys are already boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
But there's no real...
There's no official starting point.
Yeah, there's no official point that says, okay, now we are boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yep.
Which is interesting because in other countries they do go through the formality of
Yep.
asking somebody to become their boyfriend.
Yeah. But even, like 20 or 30 years ago in English-speaking countries, you would do this.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And it was called going steady.
Going steady.
So you would ask, will you go steady with me?
And that means let's become a stable couple.
Exactly.
All right, so we want to hear your stories. And, well, how do you do it in your country? Do you ask someone out? Do you maybe just give them the first kiss and that's an automatic yes?
Well, I don't know, but I'm looking forward to hearing from our listeners. So, guys, check out our website, englishpod.com. You can leave your questions and comments there.
All right, we'll see you guys there. And until next time.
Goodbye.
Bye. The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. You and me.
Two of us.
Just for us and no one else.
All to ourselves.
Phrase used to begin explaining a situation or problem.
Here's the thing.
Good things and bad things about a person.
Pros and cons.
Courage, brave.
Guts.
To let someone have a try.
Give someone a shot.
Phrase used to indicate that you are dating someone.
Going out.
To become someone's boyfriend or girlfriend.
Get with.
To ask someone to join you on a romantic date.
Ask out.
Having a very close relationship, very warm and friendly.
Intimate.
To kiss.
Make out.
Let's try that faster. You and me.
Two of us.
Phrase used to indicate that you are dating someone.
Going out.
Having a very close relationship, very warm and friendly.
Intimate.
To ask someone to join you on a romantic date.
Ask out.
Good things and bad things about a person.
Pros and cons.
To let someone have a try.
Give someone a shot.
Phrase used to begin explaining a situation or problem.
Here's the thing.
Courage, brave.
Guts.
To kiss.
Make out.
Just for us and no one else.
All to ourselves.
To become someone's boyfriend or girlfriend.
Get with.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence. Good evening, sir. Do you have a reservation? Hi, I'm calling to make a dinner reservation. I have a reservation for a group of 4. The man next door is so loud. I can't take it anymore. My boss always yells at me. I can't take it anymore. I'm going to quit. I couldn't take her complaining anymore, so I broke up with her. Are you serious? Why do you suddenly want to move out? You're getting married? Are you serious? He said he loves you? Are you serious?
Guts.
I don't have the guts to go skydiving.
Guts.
I don't have the guts to give a speech.
Guts.
I never had the guts to say no to my boss. What do you say we go for dinner? Let's move to Hawaii. What do you say? So, what do you say?
Will you come?
And today we're going to be talking about one of our favorite topics, as always.
Food.
Food. We're going to be at a restaurant.
And, one of the most difficult or embarrassing things to deal with at a restaurant is what to say when you don't like the food or when it's bad quality food.
Right. So maybe we have to complain about the food or maybe even the service, right?
That's right. And in this lesson, we're going to be learning some really wonderful words and phrases that you can use when you need to complain about the food or the service in a restaurant.
Okay, so before we listen to what happens in this restaurant with this food, let's take a look very quickly at vocabulary preview.
Vocabulary preview.
Okay, we're only going to do one word today, and this you'll hear in the dialogue. An establishment.
Establishment.
This kind of establishment.
Okay, so when I say an establishment, that's a noun. What is an establishment?
It's basically a fancy word for a business or a restaurant in this case.
In this case, it's a restaurant.
Yep.
But in general, you can say it's a business. So you have a very fine establishment.
That's right. So an establishment, a type of business, a place of business, really.
Very good. All right, so now it's time for us to listen to our dialogue. We're going to find out what's going on here. Apparently, there is a very angry customer, and we're going to find out why.
Excuse me, waiter.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you?
I've been sitting here for the past 20 minutes, and no one has offered me a glass of water, brought any bread to the table, and our appetizers haven't been served yet. In this kind of establishment, I'd expect much better service.
I'm sorry, sir. I'll check on your order right away.
Relax, honey. The place is busy tonight, and I've heard the food is amazing. Anyway.
Here you are, sir. The foie gras for the lady and a mushroom soup for you.
Waiter! I ordered a cream of mushroom soup with asparagus. The soup is obviously too runny, and it's over-seasoned. It's completely inedible.
Okay, I do apologize for that. Can I bring you another soup, or would you like to order something else?
Take this foie gras back as well. It's rubbery and completely overcooked. And look at the portion size. How can you charge $25 for a sliver of duck liver?
Right away, sir.
Honey, come on. The foie gras was fine. Why are you making such a big deal? Are you trying to get our meal comped again?
What do you mean? We are paying for this, and I'm shelling out my hard-earned bucks. I expect value for money.
Here you are, sir. I hope it is all right now. The chef has prepared it especially for you.
Yes, fine.
Honey, are you all right?
Well, I guess that's one lesson, hey? If you're in a restaurant, don't be too rude to the waiter. You never know what's going to happen.
The waiter and the cook, right?
Yeah, you don't want to offend that kitchen staff.
All right, so we'll talk about that a little bit later on, but now I think we had some really interesting vocabulary of how to describe food that is not well prepared, and we can take a look at that now in Language Takeaway.
Language takeaway.
All right, so the guy in this dialogue, he ordered a mushroom soup, and he complained that the mushroom soup was too runny.
Okay, the soup is too runny.
Runny.
So he wanted a cream of mushroom, so it should be a little bit thicker.
Yep.
But in this case, it was runny.
So when something is runny, it's too liquid.
Too liquid. And I think we can relate it to a runny nose, right?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when liquid is coming out of your nose, a runny nose, in this case, the soup is runny.
All right. And another thing that he was complaining about, the food was over-seasoned.
Over-seasoned.
The food is over-seasoned.
Okay, so if the food is over-seasoned,
it's too salty.
So it's another way of saying it's too salty.
Yeah, it's kind of a fancy a cooking term.
Now, can I say if there's too much pepper in the food, can I say it's over-seasoned?
Well, technically, no. When a cook says something is over-seasoned, he's talking salt only.
Only salt, okay. So the cream of mushroom is very runny, it's over-seasoned, and he said it's completely inedible.
Inedible.
It's inedible.
Inedible.
Now, this word edible.
You can eat it.
You can eat it. So we add this prefix inedible.
You cannot eat it.
This is not possible.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean that physically you can't eat it. It just means it's pretty disgusting.
Okay. This food is inedible. And then he started to complain about the other dish. And he said that it's rubbery.
Rubbery.
The foie gras was rubbery.
All right. So I think we noticed the word rubber. So obviously, if a food is rubbery, it tastes, or it's too chewy. It's like chewing on the bottom of your shoe, right?
Okay, so it's too hard to chew or to swallow.
Exactly.
All right. Apparently, the food was rubbery because it's completely overcooked.
Overcooked.
All right, we have overcooked.
So when something is overcooked, I mean, it's easy to understand that it's cooked too much.
But it doesn't mean that it's burnt, right?
No, so maybe you've ordered your steak to be rare, but it comes to you well done. So it's not burnt, but it's cooked too much.
So also, I guess we can say like chicken. Sometimes if you overcook chicken, it comes out too dry.
Yep.
All right, so to overcook something.
And finally, he was complaining about the size of the dish, and he said, this is a sliver of duck liver.
Okay, a sliver.
A sliver.
All right. Now, this word sliver is like a slice, right?
A very small, tiny little slice.
Okay, so we can say, okay, I just want a sliver of bacon for breakfast.
All right, why don't we hear a few more examples of how we can use sliver?
Example 1.
No, John's on a diet. He'll just have a sliver of cake and no ice cream.
Example 2.
I'm really full, but it looks so delicious. Can you just cut me a sliver?
Example 3.
You call this sliver of beef on my plate a meal? There's almost nothing here.
And those are all the words we had for language takeaway. Now you have... So we've given you different adjectives of describing food that is not well prepared. So now let's move on to some other phrases that the customer used to complain in Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
Okay, so before we get to the customer complaining language, I want to look at a phrase that the waiter used to apologize. He said, I do apologize.
I do apologize.
I do apologize.
Now, why is this phrase so interesting?
Well, I mean, it's pretty easy to understand the meaning, but I want to look at why he added this verb do. Well, he added the verb do to this phrase to make it seem a little bit stronger, to give a little more power to his apology.
Right. So if you have an affirmative phrase like I apologize,
Yep.
It's good.
Yeah.
But if you want to give it a little bit more emphasis, you can say I do apologize.
Why don't we give an example? So I might say this. Marco, I didn't know we had a party tonight.
And I might say, what? I did tell you about it last week.
Right, so you're just giving a little bit more power to the statement that you told me.
So this do, did, does becomes an auxiliary to make it more powerful, to give it more emphasis.
Yeah, exactly. So a neat little phrase, something you can use if you want to make your apologies sound maybe a little bit stronger.
All right. Now moving on to the next phrase. He was complaining about the food and it was terrible, and he said, I'm shelling out my hard-earned bucks.
Okay, let's break this one down into two sections. We'll start with shelling out.
All right, so to shell out.
So when you shell out, you pay for something.
All right, but this gives you the sensation that you don't really want to pay.
You're a bit unhappy about it.
Right, so you want to shell out your money.
Why don't we listen to some examples to show us how we can use this phrase to shell out?
Example 1.
Great. It's my girlfriend's birthday this month, so I'm going to have to shell out for a present.
Example 2.
I really want those shoes, but I can't really afford to shell out $400.
Example 3.
I can't believe it. Ella shelled out the $800 for the tickets. I thought I would have to pay.
All right, so now that we understand shell out, let's move on to the second part of that sentence. My hard-earned bucks.
Hard-earned bucks.
My hard-earned bucks.
Okay, so bucks are dollars, right?
Dollars. Only dollars, right?
Yeah, not pounds, not euros. But his hard-earned bucks is money he had to work really hard for.
So I can also say my hard-earned money, right? Or my hard-earned cash.
Exactly.
Very good. So you worked hard to get it.
All right, so three great phrases that can be used when you're complaining in a restaurant. And why don't we hear them one last time in context by listening to the dialogue?
Excuse me, waiter.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you?
I've been sitting here for the past 20 minutes, and no one has offered me a glass of water, brought any bread to the table, and our appetizers haven't been served yet. You know, in this kind of establishment, I'd expect much better service.
I'm sorry, sir. I'll check on your order right away.
Relax, honey. The place is busy tonight, and I've heard the food is amazing. Anyway,
Here you are, sir. The foie gras for the lady and a mushroom soup for you.
Waiter! I heard a cream of mushroom soup with asparagus. The soup is obviously too runny, and it's over-seasoned. It's completely inedible.
Okay, I do apologize for that. Can I bring you another soup, or would you like to order something else?
Take this foie gras back as well. It's rubbery and completely overcooked. And look at the portion size. How can you charge $25 for a sliver of duck liver?
Right away, sir.
honey, come on. The foie gras was fine. Why are you making such a big deal? Are you trying to get our meal comped again?
What do you mean? We are paying for this, and I'm shelling out my hard-earned bucks. I expect value for money.
Here you are, sir. I hope it is all right now. The chef has prepared it especially for you.
Yes, fine.
Honey, are you all right?
So complaining at a restaurant and actually sending food back is not uncommon in the US.
Yeah, of course. If the food's bad, of course you're going to send it back.
But maybe in other cultures, I think people would be a little bit more reluctant to do something like this.
Yeah. But hey, you know what's an interesting thing about the way Americans eat in restaurants is sometimes at the end of the meal, if they haven't finished everything, they might ask for a doggy bag.
A doggy bag, yeah.
Yeah. So what is that, a doggy bag?
Well, usually if you order a big meal or, half your steak is left over on your plate, you would ask for a doggy bag and they would bring you a little box or a bag and you would take it to supposedly give it to your dog.
Right. So it's sort of like you tell the waiter, the steak was so good, I couldn't finish it. Can I take some home to my dog?
Right. So you would just ask, waiter, can I have a doggy bag?
Right. But it's sort of like code for, I'm going to eat this tomorrow for lunch.
Exactly. Because people wouldn't really give it to their dogs.
Yeah.
I mean.
That steak wrapped up in a fancy sort of foil swan is going to be pretty delicious the next day.
Right. Yeah, it's actually very common in the US, but in other countries, people will leave entire plates of food on the table.
It'd be totally impolite to ask the waiter to pack up the food for you.
Exactly.
Yep.
So a little bit of cultural differences, but we want to know what you think and how things are done maybe in your country with complaining or sending food back or even this whole doggy bag situation.
That's right. Why don't you visit our website, englishpod.com, and tell us about it.
All right. We'll be there to answer any questions or comments, but we got to go now. So until then.
Goodbye.
Bye. The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. A bad second taste.
A bad aftertaste.
A strong, unpleasant taste that is opposite of sweet.
Bitter.
A strong, unpleasant smell.
Rank.
A rotten taste or smell.
Rancid.
Not appealing, not attractive or tasty.
Unappealing.
Little dish people have before meal.
Appetizer.
Place of business like a restaurant or hotel.
Establishment.
Work done by someone to serve customers.
Service.
The list containing your choices of dishes.
Order.
A food made from the livers of geese.
Foie gras.
More liquid than expected.
Runny.
Too salty.
Over-seasoned.
Cannot be eaten.
Inedible.
Difficult to chew.
Rubbery.
Be cooked over time.
Overcooked.
The amount of food that is served to a person.
Portion size.
A small, thin piece.
Sliver.
Get very upset about something small.
Make a big deal.
Be given to customers for free.
Comp.
To spend money.
Shell out.
Money you work hard for.
Hard earned.
Let's try that faster. Work done by someone to serve customers.
Service.
Place of business like a restaurant or hotel.
Establishment.
More liquid than expected.
Runny.
The amount of food that is served to a person.
Portion size.
A strong, unpleasant smell.
Rank.
Difficult to chew.
Rubbery.
Too salty.
Over-seasoned.
Not appealing, not attractive or tasty.
Unappealing.
Be given to customers for free.
Comp.
Get very upset about something small.
Make a big deal.
A strong, unpleasant taste that is opposite of sweet.
Bitter.
A bad second taste.
A bad aftertaste.
A food made from the livers of geese.
Foie gras.
The list containing your choices of dishes.
Order.
Be cooked over time.
Overcooked.
Cannot be eaten.
Inedible.
To spend money.
Shell out.
Money you work hard for.
Hard earned.
A rotten taste or smell.
Rancid.
A small, thin piece.
Sliver.
Little dish people have before meal.
Appetizer.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Inedible.
This fish tastes terrible. It's completely inedible.
Inedible.
If you leave meat out of the refrigerator for too long, it will be inedible.
Inedible.
Are you sure you can eat that? Aren't the flower decorations on cakes inedible?
Rubbery.
This steak is so rubbery I can barely chew it.
Rubbery.
If the meat is so rubbery, why don't you send it back?
Rubbery.
The foie gras is so rubbery. I bet it would bounce on the floor if I dropped it.
Sliver.
No, John's on a diet. He'll just have a sliver of cake and no ice cream.
Sliver.
I'm really full, but it looks so delicious. Can you just cut me a sliver?
Sliver.
You call this sliver of beef on my plate a meal? There's almost nothing here.
Hard-earned.
Doesn't it feel good when you use your hard-earned bucks to buy something you've always wanted?
Hard-earned.
I refuse to spend my hard-earned bucks on someone who won't appreciate it.
Hard-earned.
Richard is such a great guy. Every year he would donate his hard-earned bucks to a different charity. I can't believe I got a parking ticket yesterday. Now I'm going to have to shell out 75 bucks. It's me and my girlfriend's 5-year anniversary on Saturday, so I'm going to shell out for a nice dinner and a pair of nice earrings. Tommy loved to party. Last night he shelled out $300 buying people drinks. The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. A bad second taste.
A bad aftertaste.
A strong, unpleasant taste that is opposite of sweet.
Bitter.
A strong, unpleasant smell.
Rank.
A rotten taste or smell.
Rancid.
Not appealing, not attractive or tasty.
Unappealing.
Little dish people have before meal.
Appetizer.
Place of business like a restaurant or hotel.
Establishment.
Work done by someone to serve customers.
Service.
The list containing your choices of dishes.
Order.
A food made from the livers of geese.
Foie gras.
More liquid than expected.
Runny.
Too salty.
Overseasoned.
Cannot be eaten.
Inedible.
Difficult to chew.
Rubbery.
Be cooked over time.
Overcooked.
The amount of food that is served to a person.
Portion size.
A small, thin piece.
Sliver.
Get very upset about something small.
Make a big deal.
Be given to customers for free.
Comp.
To spend money.
Shell out.
Money you work hard for.
Hard earned.
Let's try that faster. Work done by someone to serve customers.
Service.
Place of business like a restaurant or hotel.
Establishment.
More liquid than expected.
Runny.
The amount of food that is served to a person.
Portion size.
A strong, unpleasant smell.
Rank.
Difficult to chew.
Rubbery.
Too salty.
Over-seasoned.
Not appealing, not attractive or tasty.
Unappealing.
Be given to customers for free.
Comp.
Get very upset about something small.
Make a big deal.
A strong, unpleasant taste that is opposite of sweet.
Bitter.
A bad second taste.
A bad aftertaste.
A food made from the livers of geese.
Foie gras.
The list containing your choices of dishes.
Order.
Be cooked overtime.
Overcooked.
Cannot be eaten.
Inedible.
To spend money.
Shell out.
Money you work hard for.
Hard earned.
A rotten taste or smell.
Rancid.
A small, thin piece.
Sliver.
Little dish people have before meal.
Appetizer.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Inedible.
This fish tastes terrible. It's completely inedible.
Inedible.
If you leave meat out of the refrigerator for too long, it will be inedible.
Inedible.
Are you sure you can eat that? Aren't the flower decorations on cakes inedible?
Rubbery.
This steak is so rubbery I can barely chew it.
Rubbery.
If the meat is so rubbery, why don't you send it back?
Rubbery.
The foie gras is so rubbery, I bet it would bounce on the floor if I dropped it.
Sliver.
No, John's on a diet. He'll just have a sliver of cake and no ice cream.
Sliver.
I'm really full, but it looks so delicious. Can you just cut me a sliver?
Sliver.
You call this sliver of beef on my plate a meal? There's almost nothing here.
Hard earned.
Doesn't it feel good when you use your hard-earned bucks to buy something you've always wanted?
Hard earned.
I refuse to spend my hard-earned bucks on someone who won't appreciate it.
Hard earned.
Richard is such a great guy. Every year he would donate his hard-earned bucks to a different charity. I can't believe I got a parking ticket yesterday. Now I'm going to have to shell out $75. It's me and my girlfriend's 5-year anniversary on Saturday, so I'm going to shell out for a nice dinner and a pair of nice earrings. Tommy loved to party. Last night he shelled out $300 buying people drinks.
Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive.
Hello.
We're really excited today to dive into the stack of sources you shared with us. We're exploring the fine art of communication in those moments that, well, that truly matters.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
Have you ever noticed how just a few well-chosen words can completely transform a conversation?
Absolutely.
Today, we're cracking open the hidden scripts of everyday language, and we're guided by your fantastic material.
Indeed. Our mission today, I think, is to unearth how precise phrasing acts as this powerful lever. Navigating everything from the thrilling vulnerability of a romantic confession to the delicate, sometimes frustrating art of a restaurant complaint. We're aiming for those aha moments.
Exactly. Revealing the surprising power hidden in everyday words. So let's decode the secret language of these high-stakes moments.
Let's do it.
Okay, imagine the scene. A quiet dinner, just for two, and a conversation that's about to shift years of friendship. Our first source drops us right into that nerve-wracking moment. As one person gathers the courage to confess their feelings to a longtime friend, it's a moment we all recognize, isn't it?
It really is a universally understood moment of vulnerability, yes. And what's particularly insightful in this dialogue is how direct and powerful the language used here truly is.
How so?
It just lays bare emotions that have clearly been simmering for a long, long time.
And it kicks off with a phrase many of us use, to signal something important is coming. Here's the thing.
Yes, here's the thing.
What's the hidden power in that seemingly simple opening? I mean, beyond just its function.
Well, it's like a verbal spotlight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It doesn't just signal importance.
Okay.
It subtly demands attention. And it often prefaces something emotionally charged or even difficult to hear.
Right. It prepares you.
It absolutely prepares the listener for a significant shift in the conversational landscape.
Yeah.
It creates this moment of heightened expectation. And it almost compels them to listen more intently, whether the news is good or bad. It essentially says, brace yourself, because I'm about to get real.
I can feel the tension building just from that phrase. And the declaration intensifies quickly after with, I can't take it anymore.
Oof, yeah.
Beyond just frustration, what deep pent-up emotion does this communicate? What exactly can't they take?
This phrase, it communicates such a profound sense of reaching a breaking point.
Okay.
It's not just mild annoyance. It implies a long-standing, often internalized struggle. What they can't take is the continuation of the current unspoken situation.
The status quo.
Exactly. The emotional weight of unexpressed feelings, the pretense, maybe the uncertainty. It's the ultimate expression of needing to change, needing a resolution.
Yeah.
Our sources show examples like, the man next door has been so loud I can't take it anymore. Or my boss always yells at me, I can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
But in our romantic scenario, it's the quiet agony of loving someone who just doesn't know.
That emotional weight is really palpable. So the friend's immediate response to this confession is simply, are you serious?
Last likely.
Yeah.
Is she genuinely asking for clarification here? Or is there another layer of meaning to that short question?
That's a very keen observation. While, yes, it's an informal way of saying, really? Or is that true? It's rarely a purely factual question in such a context. It expresses surprise, disbelief, maybe even a touch of incredulity.
Which could be good or bad.
Exactly. It could stem from delight, shock, or just a sudden reevaluation of everything. It's often used, in casual settings, maybe by younger people, but here it perfectly captures that moment of a world suddenly shifting on its axis.
Wow.
She's processing the unexpected, probably wondering if she misread all the signals for years.
She clearly wasn't expecting it. And then he admits his past hesitation with, I never had the guts to tell you.
The guts.
How does that colloquialism have the guts evoke a more profound sense of courage than just saying bravery? To have the guts, it signifies a deep, almost primal form of courage. It's not just intellectual bravery,
Right.
It's courage that seems to emanate from your very core, your internal being. The anatomical link to guts as internal organs, it really underscores how profoundly difficult and often fear-inducing such a confession can be.
Like a gut feeling.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It suggests a visceral battle against instinctual fear that had to be overcome to speak one's truth. It implies a significant personal risk. Like the examples, I don't have the guts to go skydiving, or I don't have the guts to give a speech. It's about overcoming that deep-seated, gut-wrenching fear.
It's fascinating how that idiom connects the abstract idea of courage to such a physical, almost primal sensation.
It really is.
Now, earlier in the evening, before this big confession, our friend made a reservation just for the two of us.
Right, setting the scene.
Setting this exclusive, intimate scene is so crucial here. I'm curious, in a broader sense, how much does this deliberate setting the stage for a romantic confession very culturally? Is it universal to have such a planned overture?
That's a fantastic point to consider.
Yeah.
Well, the desire for intimacy is probably universal.
Sure.
The performance of it, particularly this explicit scene setting, does show cultural variation. This phrase, just for the two of us, highlights exclusivity.
Only us.
Implying only us,
Yeah,
exactly.
okay.
It subtly sets a romantic tone because it suggests a special private occasion. In many English-speaking cultures, this kind of date often precedes a more formal declaration.
Okay.
Whereas in others, relationships might evolve more organically. It highlights how language, even in a simple reservation, carries significant cultural cues.
Interesting.
And of course, you can adapt it for any number, just the four of us or just the eight of us. But here, it's clearly about creating a unique space.
And he also thought they could have a quiet evening, all to ourselves. What does that signify? Reinforcing that sense of exclusivity.
Yeah, exactly. This phrase, all to ourselves, means having something completely alone without sharing. It intensifies the idea of an intimate, uninterrupted setting, free from distractions. You could say, my parents are out of town, so I have the apartment all to myself, or she wants to eat the cake all to herself. It's about singular possession and privacy, creating an environment where deep conversation can genuinely happen.
These phrases really do perfectly set the stage for the revelation of long-standing feelings. He explains them with, I've always seen you as more than just a friend.
Powerful line.
What's your take on that recontextualizing power? How does that phrase capture a person's perception and sort of shift the dynamic?
Well, this phrase describes your consistent perception, how you've considered someone over time. But its true power here lies in its recontextualization. By saying, I've always seen you as more than just a friend. He's not just stating a fact. He's implicitly asking her to reconsider their entire shared history through a new lens. He's challenging the existing framework of their relationship and inviting her to see him and them differently. You might say, I've always seen you as a good friend or a leader, but here it's a redefinition of their bond.
And then the ultimate question, the moment of truth. Are you willing to give me a shot?
The big ask.
When someone says this in such a vulnerable context, is it purely an appeal for a chance, or does it also subtly shift some responsibility onto the other person to respond empathetically?
That's a very keen insight.
Right.
While it's undeniably an appeal for an opportunity, a chance, it also strategically places the ball in the other person's court. It implies, look, I've put myself out here. I've taken this enormous personal risk.
Right.
Now you have a choice to make, and that choice reflects on you too. It's a powerful move that demands a considered answer, not just a casual dismissal, precisely because the speaker has already taken such a personal gamble.
Like the examples.
Yeah, like, I know I can do this drawing better. Just give me a shot. Or the HR manager wasn't going to hire me, but he decided to give me a shot. It's asking for a trial, an opening to prove something.
So after all this carefully constructed language and vulnerable honesty, the dialogue culminates in a very direct question, will you be my girlfriend? This feels a bit like a movie moment to me. Is that how relationships typically start among adults in English-speaking countries today? Or is it, less formal?
It's an excellent question, and it really highlights cultural nuance. What's fascinating here is that among adults in many English-speaking countries, relationships often, well, they often just sort of happen naturally.
Oh, really?
Yeah, evolving through shared experiences and an unspoken understanding, usually without such an official, will you be my boyfriend, girlfriend conversation.
So it's more gradual.
It's more of a gradual, organic process where you simply become a couple through mutual actions and assumptions.
So no big dramatic pronouncements, usually.
Less often these days, perhaps. The directness in our dialogue is quite pronounced.
Yeah.
However, it's worth noting some historical insight from our sources.
Okay.
20 or 30 years ago, it was much more common to go steady, meaning to become a stable, exclusive couple, which often did involve a more explicit declaration.
Yeah.
So while this dialogue might feel a little old-fashioned or stylized for modern adults in some cultures, it certainly reflects a historical precedent for directness in relationship initiation.
This truly gives us so much to think about. What stands out to you, our listener? Does this dialogue reflect how people start romantic relationships in your country? Or is it more subtle, a gradual understanding, perhaps even influenced by historical shifts?
Yeah, it's fascinating.
The biggest aha moment here, I think, is realizing how deeply language is intertwined with culture and how a single phrase can reveal so much about social norms and personal expectations.
Absolutely.
Okay, so from the heart-pounding vulnerability of a romantic confession, where every word is a gamble.
Chuckles lightly.
Yes. We shift now to another arena where careful language can make all the difference. The restaurant.
Ah, yes. Tricky territory.
Many of us have faced that moment when a meal just isn't right, but knowing how to articulate that dissatisfaction effectively, without causing a scene is a true art.
It really is.
Our next deep dive takes us to a restaurant where a customer is decidedly unhappy with the service and the food.
In this dialogue, it offers a masterclass in descriptive language for problematic food.
Okay.
And assertive phrases for complaints. And it also reveals some interesting cultural differences in how these situations are handled, which we'll explore.
All right, let's dig in. The customer starts with the mushroom soup, complaining it's too runny. What does that tell us about its consistency?
Well, runny means too liquid, not wick enough. Our source actually relates it to a runny nose.
Oh, lovely image.
Yeah, gives you a clear mental picture of something that's not quite right in terms of consistency. It implies a lack of proper preparation or a failure to achieve the desired, often creamy, texture.
Got it. He then adds that it's over-seasoned. Does that just mean too much pepper or herbs, or is there a specific culinary implication here?
This is a very specific culinary term. When a chef or, a knowledgeable diner says something is over-seasoned, it means it contains too much salt, and only salt.
Just salt.
Just salt. By using such a precise culinary term, the customer isn't just saying it's too salty, they're implicitly claiming a degree of culinary knowledge.
Interesting. So it's strategic.
It can subtly signal to the waiter in kitchen that this isn't just a casual diner, but someone whose palate and expectations might be more refined, potentially prompting a more serious response.
So using that term is a strategic choice, not just descriptive. Then comes the ultimate condemnation. Completely inedible.
Wow. Strong words.
Does he mean he literally can't physically eat it, or is there more to it?
Not quite literally. Edible means you can eat it. Inedible means it's so bad, so disgusting perhaps, that you choose not to eat it. It's a strong statement of quality, not physical impossibility. It conveys a deep level of disgust or dissatisfaction, suggesting the food is so far below acceptable standards that consuming it is just out of the question, almost insulting.
He moves on to the foie gras, calling it rubbery. That paints a vivid and not very appealing picture.
No, it doesn't. If food is rubbery, it's too chewy, like trying to chew on actual rubber.
Oh, right.
It refers to a texture that's unpleasantly elastic and difficult to masticate. It often points to a fundamental flaw in cooking.
Yeah.
One of our sources described a patron complaining about scallops that were so rubbery, he joked he might get a workout chewing them.
Chuckles.
That kind of imagery really conveys the extent of the disappointment and the implied culinary failure.
That's a great way to put it. It's not just descriptive, it's an accusation of bad technique.
Pretty much, yeah.
And the foie gras was rubbery because it was completely overcooked. Is that the same as burnt?
No, not necessarily. Overcooked means it's cooked too much, past the desired point, but not automatically burnt. Think of a steak ordered rare that comes well done.
Right.
Or chicken that becomes too dry. It's about exceeding the optimal cooking time, leading to a loss of moisture, flavor, or the desired texture. It implies a lack of skill or attention to detail in the kitchen.
Got it. Finally, he complains about the portion size, calling it a sliver of duck liver.
A sliver?
What kind of portion is a sliver, and what's the implication when used in a complaint like this?
A sliver is indeed a very small, thin piece or slice. But when used in the context of a restaurant complaint, like a sliver of duck liver, it's not just a neutral description of size. It implicitly conveys a sense of being cheated or dissatisfied,
Okay.
highlighting the customer's indignation about the perceived stinginess or poor value. Our source offers examples like, he'll just have a sliver of cake, or can you just cut me a sliver?
Right.
It's a rhetorical choice designed to amplify the complaint, not just a factual one.
So the waiter has quite a situation on his hands here. He responds with, I do apologize. What's the significance of adding do there? How does that small word change the tone?
That's a crucial point. Adding do, or does for other tenses, to an affirmative statement, especially an apology, gives it stronger emphasis. It makes it sound more sincere, maybe more forceful. It functions like an intensifier.
Okay.
It's the difference between I apologize and I do apologize, the latter carrying a heavier weight of sincerity and concern, often trying to convey a genuine commitment to rectify the situation.
Like really meaning it.
Exactly. It's like saying, well, I did tell you about it last week.
Yeah.
To underscore a point emphatically.
Okay, I see. The customer then asserts his right, saying he's shelling out my hard-earned bucks.
Chuckles.
He's the classic. Let's break that down, as it's a very common way to express consumer dissatisfaction, isn't it?
Oh, definitely.
Huh?
If we connect this to the bigger picture of consumer expectations, this phrase is quite revealing. Shell out means to pay for something, often with a sense of reluctance or unhappiness, especially if it feels overpriced or undeserved. For example, I'm going to have to shell out for a present. Or, I can't really afford to shell out $400 for those shoes. And hard-earned bucks means dollars. And hard-earned refers to money you worked very hard to get.
Of course.
The combination emphasizes not just the act of paying, but the value of his labor and the perceived injustice of spending it on a poor experience. It elevates the complaint from mere personal taste to a matter of respect for his effort and money.
That makes sense. Now, this whole scenario, complaining, sending food back, it seems quite common in the U.S., according to our source.
Yes, it does.
What's intriguing to note is how much this varies culturally. Could you elaborate on those differences?
Absolutely. Well, in the U.S., it's generally accepted, even sometimes expected, to send back bad food. The same is definitely not true everywhere. In many other cultures, people might be much more reluctant. They might view it as impolite or causing a scene or even embarrassing for the restaurant staff. The tolerance for what constitutes acceptable food also varies, as does the willingness to assert one's rights as a customer. This dialogue really reflects a very specific cultural approach to customer service and consumer assertiveness.
And there's another American cultural quirk mentioned in our source, the doggy bag phenomenon.
The doggy bag, yes.
How does that tie into cultural dining norms?
Indeed. The doggy bag, the practice of taking leftovers home, is often, let's be honest, code for eating it yourself, not actually for your dog.
Right.
It's very common and socially acceptable in the U.S. It seems driven by a cultural value of not wasting food and getting full value for your money.
Makes sense.
However, in many other countries, it might be considered impolite or even low class to ask to pack up your food, even if you paid for it.
Really?
Yeah. People might leave entire plates of food on the table rather than make such a request. It's a fascinating contrast in dining etiquette.
So what stands out to you, our curious listener? How does your culture handle restaurant complaints or the concept of taking food home? Do you find yourself adopting different approaches depending on where you are?
Lots to think about there.
What a revealing journey through the subtle battlefield of words. We've seen how a few chosen phrases can either ignite a connection and shift a relationship, or effectively assert your rights as a consumer and demand better service.
And beyond the words themselves, we've really uncovered how cultural norms profoundly influence how and when these phrases are used.
Yeah.
It's about more than just vocabulary. It's about understanding the unspoken rules and social expectations that govern these crucial interactions.
The biggest takeaway here, I think, isn't just what words mean, but how they're strategically deployed within specific cultural contexts to achieve an outcome.
Language isn't just passive.
Language isn't just about conveying information, it's about shaping reality and influencing perception. This raises an important question for you, our listener. In what other everyday situations do you think a deeper understanding of specific phrases and their cultural context could completely transform an interaction for you?
That's a great question.
Keep reflecting on how your own words shape your world, and thanks for joining us on this Dame Dive.
Thanks, everyone.